Hey guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. I'm back home today after 3 days on duty for Hurricane Sandy, which came up the East Coast and gave us a lot of rain, basically 2.5 days. I'm home today doing a little bit of storm cleanup, and I wanted to have a lunch out by the in the fire pit here, but everything, as you can see, is soaking wet. But I think we can still get a fire going using some natural tinders, and I think we can have a good lunch out here. Stay with me, and I'm going to show you how we start a fire when everything is soaking wet. Here's my pile of campfire wood, and like I said, it's pretty wet after 3 days of rain, and my fire pit is just about saturated. Here's a bucket I use. Here, look at this. This has holes in it now. That's just an absolute mess. But we're going to clean this fire pit out, and I'll show you the way I start a fire when things are wet. Okay, first thing I did was I took my bucket and cleaned it off a little bit, gave me a place to work. You could do this on the ground. Got me a nice big leaf here to catch some of these shavings. And what I've got here is a piece of fat wood. This Leatherman, the saw on it works very well for this, and all I do is I don't saw through, I just rub it up and down, and what I'm doing is creating a bunch of sawdust, and that's what's going to catch my spark from my ferro rod. Part of my everyday carry is my Leatherman tool, and on this Leatherman tool there's a little loop on the side, and that's where I attach my ferro rod. That stays with me most all the time. After I've got some of this sawdust collected to catch the spark, I'm going to split down some of this fat wood, and that'll give me some flame, a little bit more sustain. I'll be right back with you as soon as I process some of this. Okay, now we have our sawdust. We have some small pieces of fat wood, a little bit larger pieces, and then our larger starter sticks. I'm going to leave this right on this green leaf, and we're going to move that right over here to where we have laid a couple of pieces of the driest, thinnest wood I could find. It's about 1 inch thick on the bottom of the fire pit. That's to keep some of that moisture from coming up and sucking the life out of my fire. And I have a little piece of bridge laying up here that's going to keep my larger wood from laying directly on top of my fat wood. Now I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to bust it down into small pieces. Even though it's wet on the outside and it rained on it for a couple of days, there's dry wood on the inside of it. I'll process that down and I'll get this started, and I'll show you the firelight. Try to get out of the shadows here so that you can see. Right here is my pile of sawdust, and here's a piece of flat wood, and we're going to use that to hold these other little pieces of fat wood off top of the shavings, just like we're going to do as we get this going. I'll take my ferro rod and we'll see if we can get these shavings going. Okay, we've got our fire going. We'll let that build up just a little bit, and we'll start laying some of these smaller pieces of fat wood across it, remembering not to smother it out. Build a little teepee, a little log cabin, whatever you like, but we've got to keep it where we get good airflow. Put this away while that catches up. Shouldn't need that anymore. Don't rush it, we got plenty of time. Fat wood will burn hot, plenty long enough. Now we're going to take some of these bigger pieces and start laying them across. Once again, crossing everything up, not wanting to smother the fire out. Notice I'm not having to blow and puff on this. Okay, we're going to let that catch good. And now that oak that I was talking about, that insides, we've got some here. It's about pencil size. We'll start laying that across. Once again, plenty of room for oxygen. I'm not going to have a big raging fire today because I'm just here to cook a little lunch, little ramen noodles while I work in the yard. But I think you can see now that we have a sustained fire. Now remember, don't add too much too quick. Make sure that you give it plenty of room to breathe. I'm going to get this built up a little bit more and I'll be right back. Okay, we have some of our bigger stuff added now. As you can see, we've got a good fire going. Wood's popping a lot, smoking a little bit, but the wood is piled up TP fashion and it's all propped up so it's getting plenty of air and the fire is burning good. Now we're not going to add anything any bigger to this. We're just cooking a little lunch, so I'm going to let this burn down a little bit and cook up my ramen noodles. Well, as you can see, the fire's died down and it's time for me to take these noodles off and start enjoying some lunch. But before I go, as I continue my cleanup from Hurricane Sandy to all of those that are out there who were affected a lot more than us here, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Be careful as you practice your bushcraft skills and your self-reliant skills, and be good to one another. I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. God bless. Not bad, guys. Not bad.